By the way, the applause was for you. Absolutely. Somewhere in today's lecture, we're going to go to the Beatitudes. They forgot one. So I'll bring it out now. Blessed are the abnormal. For they shall transform the world. Hey, think about it. As a quote, everyday life is an illusionary canvas of both shadow and light. A masterpiece commissioned by the will of the collective. The color of normal. Isn't it funny how when you're normal, there are no high highs, there are no low lows. You want to avoid those as much as possible. And those who are normal, they seek solace in getting advice and solutions from others. Life is experienced in a veil or under a veil of relative invisibility, save for the occasional need of approval and validation. It's interesting how you can see those who are normal choose to be invisible. To be visible is scary business. They don't have to make any weighted decisions. And because of that, they're less apt to suffer any major consequences. But this doorway doesn't lead to innovation. It doesn't lead to prodigal genius or invention, but rather one of obedience and servitude. But don't forget about, there's something that needs to be clarified here, and that is this wavelength of normal, it's a carrier wave. It allows many other things to be put on it and brings into the picture in the design, the full purpose and intent of control and manipulation of the masses. Okay, you have to take into account something here, that a lot of people subscribe to normal because they've been taught that's the way to live life successfully. You avoid a lot of problems, but also at the same time, those who are in positions of control, they know this. They know that the human populace is capable of a much higher vibrational means of connecting and communicating. You see, Edgar Cayce and Albert Einstein, they both had the same awareness in that they said everything vibrates. Where Albert got his frame of reference and where Edgar got his, we don't know. But that they come to the same conclusion and make this presentation, it's something for all of you to realize. We are talking about vibration here. Vibration of truth. Everything in life is vibration. Yes. Everything vibrates. Life is vibration. So is mind. So is matter. Yes, all of this is true. The vibration of truth has a very distinctive tone to it. When you and yourself open up to and begin to experience truth, you begin to experience it as a frequency. It's something that you can then count upon, you can trust, and know that it is actually going to help you to move in and out of this cocoon of normalcy. Let's look at it. Normal would appear to always acquiesce to authority, And never, never, ever challenge the status quo. Make sure you drink your Diet Coke. You eat your fast food hamburger every day. And of course, you take your strong pharmaceuticals to treat the depression that's brought upon you by trying so hard to be normal. I'll drink to that. Normal is also cheering aggressively for a football team that never cheers you back. Isn't it fascinating when you watch it? Everybody's cheering there like their whole life depended on it, and that the team was going to somehow or another give it back to them. And thank you for being a fool and paying the amount of money that you did to watch it, because that's giving them the money they need. So, by the way, being normal means drink that fluoridated water. Go ahead. Well, the FDA has approved it. That must make it healthy. Unless, of course, you finally start catching on and different things come out to help you to catch on, like the Dallas Buyers Club. The malleable, placid form of normal is what the controllers strive for. They know that the population is quite capable of resonating at a much higher frequency. So what does it mean to be abnormal? Oh, to be about 3 degrees out of phase. Whatever normal is, you're about 3 degrees off. And everybody looks at you and wonders about you. You may be called a rebel, a reject, a retard, or so intellectual that you're beyond comprehensible. I didn't fall under all of those categories, but I did identify strongly with the rebel. Ever since I can remember, I was always getting into trouble. That didn't exactly fit into normal. I knew the principal of our school probably better than anyone else. I learned how to run away from home and found traveling by hitchhiking was damned exciting. It truly was. It afforded me adventures and learning that I would never have ever received in any other way. But then you also have this thing where you recognize there is a path that the abnormal adhere to. And while it may seem to be a thin line, it is one that allows them to go in and out of normal and plant seeds. Give just little tidbits of revelatory information based upon receptivity, because anyone who's abnormal learns you can't give them the full dose. They're just not ready for it. But in accordance to their receptivity, you can give to them, but you also need to withdraw. Otherwise, you become much too susceptible to the weakening influence of normal. It'll wear you down, it'll eat you up. And once it eats you up, it'll spit you out. Because it doesn't really care about you at all, except to use you for whatever ends the controllers have in mind. There's also another thing that in your awakening, in your recognition that you're abnormal, and that this is becoming more readily acceptable, you'll notice the hijacked lookalikes coming in and sharing similar information, but to lead people back to being controlled and manipulated. Are you looking for the third coming of Jesus Christ? The second's already happened. I know, this may just have shattered the receptivity of a number of people who were in the process of listening. But it's done with a very good intention, and that is, anytime we put stock into someone else's doing it for us, we have let go of our own power. We've just given it away. You see, it's challenging to step out of normal. It's challenging to be abnormal. It's challenging because you're pretty limited to those that you're going to reach to and will reach to you. So in that, I say to you, blessed are you who are abnormal. Blessed are you who are doing this work and learning that this is a very transformational time that we're living in. And the object of it is to bring all of humanity together with a greater operating awareness that we are truly powerful beings. We stop giving our power away to others who only use it to their own design and interests. We start experimenting with our power, and in the experimentation, we find that there then begins a dawning of another awareness within us. It's as if something in us starts waking up. It's not a shouter. It's not an attention getter. But it is something that as you continue to live your abnormality, you find that it is a much healthier experience because of the one in you who is coming alive that never before was given the chance to be real. If you feel like you're real enough already, that's all right by me. If you are wondering what real is, that's all right by me. I sometimes wonder too, but I tell you what, I would much rather encourage you to question than I would encourage you to simply accept the status quo. You see, what we really are doing is questioning authority. We may look out there and say that's the authority that we're questioning, but who you really want to come to is yourself. Because you see, finally, we're getting to the place of realizing we are our own authority. And collectively, our authority resides in a higher set of frequencies that normal cannot, will not embrace. There may come a time when normal has become so upgraded that it will accept the realization, as it has been stated, we are all gods. And we all have godlike qualities. And when we begin to live these, then we find there is no higher power above us that we have to placate, pray to, but rather we recognize that the power is within us, that we align ourselves with. And in so doing, where we are right now, we'll just have to go with it as abnormal. So blessed are you, and thank you for being here. May you take this and find it is something that encourages you, doesn't threaten you, but if you are threatened, realize there's a good chance you'll live anyhow. For more information about the Metaphysical Church of Enlightenment or the Rodin Foundation, please go to our website at www.rodin.org. If you have been inspired by the revelations shared in these podcasts, please donate to the Rodin Foundation's ongoing efforts to help others help themselves at www.rodin.org donate.